This is Beth of Wanderful Vintage. Thanks for joining me here on YouTube. Hello there. Thank you so much for joining me here on YouTube. I'm Beth from Wanderful Vintage, and I wanted to share some of my favorite finds of the summer over the last couple months. And I figured I would film it here in my garden because summer is winding down and there's just not that much time to enjoy the beautiful weather outdoors. So most of the finds that I'm going to share today have been from either garage sales, church fairs, or other outdoorsy kind of summery barn sale events in and around my area. But I've also gotten a few of these goodies from Goodwill, and I will share some of the shop with me footage in this video as well. But I wanted to share some of these awesome finds with you. So this is a gorgeous sconce that I got. It's heavy, solid brass. It is amazing. The patina is lovely. The floral detail I loved. It is probably about 5 pounds in weight. It's featured on my Etsy shop. You can see it there. I'll share the link to this piece in the description below this video. I just loved this brass piece. I feel like it gives me Art Nouveau vibes. I don't know the maker. I don't really have any of that information on the back, but it's a lovely brass piece. And this was one of my first purchases. I ended up buying this at a fair, an antiques fair in Washington County, New York. And I'd never been to this fair before, but actually a reseller told me about the fair. I was shopping at her booth, buying a couple of items, and just telling her like I loved her vibe and I loved what she had to share. And I had overheard her asking somebody else if they were going to be at this fair shopping and sourcing. And so I asked her like, what fair are you talking about? I really like shamelessly wanted that information about where she was shopping. And so she ended up telling me about this fair in Washington County and gave me all the details, even like wrote it down for me. So like, thank you so much. I think her name was Susan. Thank you so much to Susan for sharing that information with me, because I went, and though I didn't buy much, there were definitely some items that got away. I will show those to you in following footage. So I'm going to share some of the footage from that weekend, from that experience, and show you some of the things that got away. I wasn't like feeling super confident buying at that show, so I really didn't end up buying much, but that piece was one of them. So speaking of Susan, the reseller that told me about that Washington County show, I actually ended up buying this tray from her. It's this amazing hand-painted metal tray. You can see the detail work. I love that it has this original sticker on it. I love this rim here. It's really petite and really adorable, and to me it's like a great like tray for tea or breakfast, like perfect for coffee in bed for those of you who do that, like me. I'm that person. This is just like a really sweet tray for that, and obviously it's just great for display. It has working handles and it's just really sweet. I love it. Also on Etsy, again, the link is in my description. This came from that reseller that told me about that Washington County fair. And this I ended up getting at a fair very much towards the very beginning of summer, like sometime in May, up in St. Albans, Vermont. And there was a bunch of antique sellers in this, you know, middle school gymnasium fair. And I ended up picking this up there. And this is one of my favorite finds of the summer. I'm going to show you another tray that I ended up picking up over the summer. This one I got at a garage sale. It's a Florentine tray. I love the shape. I've shown this before on Instagram, I think. Definitely shown it on Instagram. I did a reel where I kind of shared a bunch of stuff that I got at a garage sale, and this was one of them. I love the hand-painted detail on this tray. I love the gold, guilty, you know, the gilt painting. It has a hook for hanging on your wall. It does have a few scratches, like everything that is vintage and old and beautiful. Like it does have some wear and some patina, but I just loved the shape and I loved the florals, and I got this for a great price. So I'm really happy to be able to pass it on to somebody who's going to love it as much as I do. So this is a highly decorative tray. I definitely wouldn't use this for like my morning coffee, like the last tray, but this was one of my favorites from this summer. Another tray that I ended up getting this summer, totally different look and very different vibe, is this pineapple tray. I actually was thinking that I would, that this would make a really great gift for someone, because you know, pineapples are like the symbol of hospitality, and so they've long been used, a pineapple has long been used as a symbol of hospitality all around the globe, and I just feel like this is such a sweet tray as a gift. I grabbed it, I've not put it for sale yet, and I haven't gifted it, so I've been hanging on to it, but it will be on my Etsy shop by the time this video airs. It has really great little felt pieces here on the bottom to protect your surfaces, and this is not so precious that it couldn't be used for like a purpose of, you know, stashing things or corralling things on top of one of your tabletops or something like that. I'm just going to show it a little bit closer up so that you can see some of the detail work here. Again, this is not like exactly like my other two trays that I just showed, but this is one of my favorite finds from the summer. I got this in Barton, Vermont, actually at an antique shop. So I ended up going to a day-long yard sale event that was in Barton, and I picked this up in a antique shop that had tons of stuff and was also in Barton, and this ended up being one of those pieces that I got that weekend. Okay, here is one of my favorite paintings that I found over the summer. This I just posted in my Etsy shop. This is a beautiful painting by a Haitian artist. It is from 1982. The artist's name is Gessner Surprise, and you can see the brushwork and the stylized imagery is really beautiful in this piece. I'll just show you a quick flip around of the back of the painting. You can see it is fabric stretched over a canvas. This is, I'm sure this is handmade. Again, it's 1982, so it's not like super, super old, but we know exactly who the artist was and where it's from. I love this gazelle in the foreground, and then it has two giraffes in the background with these beautiful trees, purple tree, blue, and a corally pink tree there in the back. And again, the detail work on this painting is beautiful. I love the size, I love the colors. This was one of my favorite finds of the summer, and again, is listed on Etsy. I actually found this in a Goodwill. It was like in a pile of other paintings, just kind of, you know how in Goodwill sometimes you see like these hand-done canvases that are like from Michael's or something. They're like a pile of canvases that were like clearly you know, maybe all done by the same person, like maybe it was like their art projects over a period of time, and this was in a bunch of those canvases. So this was like a super find, and I've found the artist online, and I know this is quite a valuable piece, so I was just like so happy to be able to include this in this video for you and share a little bit more about where it came from and how I found it. So that was a great Goodwill score over the summer. Let me show you this. This is, it's a little dusting. This is a beautiful metal tray that I purchased this summer. I actually got this, again, another tray. I got this also at that Washington County antique fair that I went to over the summer. I love the detail work here on the edges. The roses are just so pretty. I love the filigree here around the rim of the tray. It has beautiful feet, you can see right here. There's 4 feet. This is a beautiful piece for your dresser. It's very elevated. Like I have other mirrored trays for sale, and I've picked up quite a few of them actually, like over the years. This is the nicest one that I've ever gotten. It's just so feminine, and it's in amazing condition, and it's huge. So it's really, again, like one of those pieces I think I had in one of my last videos where I had a small tray like this. It's great for corralling like your perfume, your products, or any other things on your dresser to sort of like bring them all together and create a focal display. So this was one of my favorite finds of the summer at that Washington County Antique Fair. So this is just the most amazing needlepoint footrest. I love this piece. I wasn't really sure for a while if I was going to sell it, and I have decided to list her on Etsy. She's adorable, very petite. You can see, like, she probably is about maybe a grand total of 6 inches off of the floor. The color of the needlepoint is a beautiful forest green, and the flowers on here, as you can see, are like a rose pink, yellow, and then these little blue flowers. It's in amazing condition. The woodwork is beautiful on the sides and on the legs, the little turned legs here. It's all in amazing condition. I mean, there's of course like a pull or like some little minor imperfections, but this is a much older piece with a lot of history behind it. This actually, I ended up finding this on Facebook Marketplace. A friend of mine was selling this, and this belonged to her grandmother. And like, I know her, I like just really like this person, and for some reason Facebook Marketplace just showed me her listing like right away, and I just jumped on it and ended up purchasing this because I initially wanted it for my home. And I've decided to list it on Etsy and see if somebody else wants to give her a home, because I have a lot of items in my home. But she is quite lovely, so I'm really excited to see if somebody else loves her as much as I do. So this piece is enormous. I don't even know if I could ship this. This is an amazing painting. I love the colors of this painting. I love this, the summertime vibes that I'm getting from this painting. I ended up purchasing this at a garage sale. It was a crazy, amazing deal. I couldn't pass it up. You know, it's really nicely framed. It has like a beautiful gold frame and then this really pretty linen matting, which is of course so typical of like, you know, framed paintings, especially those framed in like between the, you know, 50s, 60s, 70s, something like that. This painting has a little story here. So right on the back here is the artist's actual address. So I think it's okay that we share it because, you know, I don't believe she's alive any longer. So the artist's name on this piece is Chris Stevens, and the seller gave me this photo of the artist that came with this painting. So it shows a picture of this woman, Chris, with her painting that was exhibited at Mount St. Mary's. So it's not like, I don't actually know when she finished the painting, but I do know that the photo date is June 14th, 2000. So it's at least 25 years old. I know that much. But the painting itself is finished, like the canvas is stretched with nails. So you see the brads here on the edges of the painting. You know, they're nails, right? I think I was mentioning in one video, they're like nail holes. They're not nail holes, they're nail heads. So these are brads that were used to stretch the canvas, which is usually common in paintings before 1960 and not so much like modern paintings. Like I studied art in college and high school, and I made my own canvases. and we stretched canvases and used a staple gun. So that was like what was most common in the 90s, 80s and 90s, staple gun, and I'm pretty sure like before then as well. But before 1960, apparently, it was just nails like this. So maybe this maker, I don't have a date on this piece, but maybe this maker wanted to, the painter wanted to stretch her canvas and use like an old-fashioned technique, even though it was painted in 2000, or maybe this was actually like made much earlier, and the photo was just developed in 2000. But we can reasonably assume that the painting was done sometime in 2000 or just before 2000. So it's at least 25 years old. And there's a picture of the artist with this piece that goes with it. And of course, I'll sell them together. This is an enormous piece. I've never sold a piece of artwork this big on Etsy before, so we'll see what's involved in shipping her, but she is a beautiful painting with lovely colors, and I'm excited to see what home this goes to next. And this was one of my favorite finds from this summer. My cat is meowing at me, so I'm sorry about the cat sounds. She obviously wants to come outside with me and be part of this video. This is probably not ever gonna go anywhere. I've not listed it on Etsy yet, but I plan to, just to see what happens with her. I bought this at a garage sale. This is pretty worn. I am gonna just like admit that. I'll get a little closer to the camera so you can see. You can see here on the sides of this piece, it's a lot of the gold paint is like worn off, but there are no visible chips that I can see. This is like a hand painted vase. It has a lid. That's what's making the noise here because it's kind of clanking around a little bit in the top. It is some goddess of some sort. I'm sure it's, I don't know, it's someone in her lute. The name is not coming to me directly, but I'm pretty sure that's Cupid on her shoulder, so maybe it's Aphrodite and Cupid or something like that. But I'll brush up on my Greek mythology so I know exactly who it is. This I ended up getting at a garage sale, and it was a crazy bargain, and I didn't want to leave it behind. So I ended up purchasing this, and yeah, I'm gonna list it in my Etsy shop and see how it does. This is very unusual, and I don't expect that it will like necessarily tickle everybody's fancy, but I loved it, and I loved the like, you know, old world European vibes, but it's kind of like a mid-century packaging of it. I have this lamp that, yes, Felice, I'm coming. I'm sorry. I have this mid-century lamp that is of this like a similar style. It's sort of like made in the 1950s to look like something that's like really old and antique. So I'm suspecting that this vase is something very similar. It does have this royal sake or royal something stamp on the bottom. It's a Bavaria, I believe, Royal Sake Bavaria stamp on the bottom of this piece. Maybe I'll do a little bit more research before I end up photographing and listing it. But this is was another last one of my favorite finds of the summer. So I hope that you enjoyed this little stroll down memory lane with me of all of my favorite finds of the summer. I also want to share with you some of the things that I missed, like some of the things that I saw over the summer and that I just like, I don't know why I didn't take them home. I just like couldn't decide, or for some reason like thought it was too expensive, or I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't get it. So indecision definitely has gripped me from time to time and on occasion, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I cannot be the only one that this has happened to. So I'm going to show some footage of some of the things that kind of got away from me. Get ready for it. There it is. And this too. These two needle points were like my biggest regrets of the summer, that I did not bring them home. Especially the strawberries. It was $12. Like, why didn't I bring that home? I had so many frames that I could have framed it in. So precious. I loved these pillowcases. Again, those did not make it home with me. I have no idea if anyone would even buy pillowcases, but I loved them. The flowers and the little birds, they were the sweetest. Definitely regretting not bringing these home. I love these tiny little mirrors, especially with their little gold ribbon. I don't think that they were resellable as a reseller, but I would have loved to have had those for myself. The handbags, oh my God, all the beaded purses. I need one for my wardrobe. I do not have a beaded purse, so that has to be on my list for next time. I keep seeing this mirror everywhere. I've seen it at a barn sale or two over the summer, and this was in Washington State. I love the flourishes and the gold, but it's plastic, so I never end up bringing it home with me. This sculpture, that horse head, it is stunning. And all the cameos, like this guy had amazing artwork. I loved it, every single bit. The copper, I think that's coming in, and that little horse sculpture over there, I really wanted that, and I did not bring her home. Thank you so much for joining me today and watching this video. If you liked what you saw today, please like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me to continue to show you more and more of my shopping expeditions and my antiquing, and I just really appreciate the support. Again, my name is Beth Kruger of Wanderful Vintage, and I hope to see you again on here soon. Have a great day.